Right now at 4, North Buffalo blast. The cleanup underway this afternoon, and what we're learning about the 73-year-old man who police say was trying to commit suicide.
Now, this weather finally getting itself back on track. Beautiful afternoon out there, and we've got even nicer weather on the way this weekend. I'll let you know when the temperatures will climb and how long this fair weather stretch lasts coming up in your 401 forecast.
And several wind turbines are set to move from one part of our area to another, but that process is a major production. The big job underway for crews and for state police, and how long it'll take to make the move.
From the station with the most local news, this is News 4 at 4.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dave Graber. In your top 4 at 4 today, we're learning more about the man that police say blew up his own home in a failed suicide attempt. This all happened last night on Covington Road in North Buffalo. Fire crews say the flames spread to neighboring homes or those on either side. Police charged the man responsible this morning. 73-year-old Santo Koch is charged with 3 counts of arson, criminal mischief, and reckless endangerment. Police and fire investigators say Koch disconnected the home's gas line and then lit a candle and waited. Miraculously, the home exploded upward and Koch walked out of the basement unharmed. The explosion leveled his home and he was quickly picked up by arriving officers right on his street. He's currently under evaluation at ECMC this afternoon. Our Rachel Monjovi has more on this story. You can see it tonight on News 4 at 5 o'clock. Well, this afternoon, we have new details on a story out of Hamburg. That's where a student from Hilbert College is facing new charges today related to threats that he allegedly made on campus. Brandon Mance appeared before a judge this morning in Hamburg Town Court. The 19-year-old is a freshman at Hilbert. Mance was facing a charge of criminal possession of a weapon for allegedly having a martial arts type throwing star. Today, police tacked on another count of criminal possession of a weapon and menacing. They say Mance told another student that he was making a hit list, and then he flashed him a knife. Our Jen Shantz is following this story and will be bringing us the latest details. You can find that on News 4 at 5 and 6. Today marks 19 years since the massacre at Columbine High School in Colorado. In 1999, 2 teenagers opened fire on campus, killing 12 students and a teacher before turning their guns on themselves. It remains one of the deadliest school shootings in history. And on today's anniversary, thousands of students all across the country walked out of the class to participate in peaceful protests. Those students are calling for stricter gun laws and reform. And they also took time to honor the victims already lost to gun violence. Now, here in Western New York, students in Niagara Falls made their voices heard. Our cameras were there as dozens of students walked off campus this morning and then marched to City Hall. Kelsey Anderson will be showing us what they had to say and the response from local officials coming up tonight on News 4 at 5 o'clock. Across the state, members of the Syracuse Theta Tau fraternity are apologizing for a video that features disturbing and offensive language. The roughly 6-minute video shows members performing a series of racist and sexist skits. Now, a warning, these images may be disturbing to watch. This lewd video shows what appears to be Theta Tau brothers joking about the Holocaust and using racist and homophobic slurs. The chapter apologized overnight in a lengthy letter saying, quote, "It's with profound embarrassment and disappointment in ourselves that we find our fraternity in this situation." But the letter also says the frat is, quote, "not a hate group or a house full of bigots." The National Fraternity's top official said in a Facebook post yesterday, quote, "The actions of these individuals are truly disgraceful, and we will take appropriate action based on the findings of our investigation."
We are not them, they are not us, and they do not represent this community.
The first time I viewed it, I was sick to my stomach.
Syracuse's senior vice president says campus police have interviewed all 48 members of the fraternity for possible violations like hazing and abusive language. Well, Tops could be closing some of its grocery stores. Just 2 months after filing for bankruptcy, new documents filed in court this week show that Tops officials are taking steps to allow them to shut down an unidentified number of stores, especially those that are underperforming. The chain asked for permission to close some locations and hire a firm to help liquidate the assets. Right now, there are about 170 Tops grocery stores in 3 states. Well, turning now to your forewarned forecast on this gorgeous Friday afternoon. Lots of sunshine out there as we take a peek High above our tower cam in downtown Buffalo, just about not a cloud in the sky. In fact, our Andrew Baglini was talking a little bit earlier saying, hey, the radar is not broken. It actually is clear for once over western New York. That is good news, Andrew.
That's wonderful news. I'm awfully much looking forward to this weekend. Not going to be needing that radar or satellite for several days ahead. And tell you what, the sunshine is just the beginning. Haven't seen a lot of it in April so far. In fact, the majority of the month we've seen snow or maybe even a little bit of rain at times when we get a break from the snow. No more. Getting into the nice weather. Spring finally making its return. Mother Nature getting back on track. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just such a nice sight after all this time. The sunshine, the blue skies, and that's pretty widespread across western New York. Down at Chautauqua Lake, just a few patchy clouds, but looking pretty gorgeous out there. The temperatures are still lagging behind just a bit, but they'll catch up, believe me. Satellite and radar, again, not showing a whole lot, just some patchy clouds south and east of the metro. And what's heading our way is a whole lot of nothing. High pressure that's going to keep us dry and clear over the next few days. Temperatures right now, again, we're still about 10 to 15 degrees below average, so there's still room for improvement, certainly. Low 40s here in Buffalo, some 30s across the southern tier. Despite that, I was still sweating in the car a little bit on the drive into work. Little bit of a breeze right now, generally out of the west, and one theme you'll notice over the next couple of days, that lake breeze keeping the lakeshore communities a little bit cooler, but all in all, not too bad. As far as your Friday night plans go, as you head out to kick off your weekend, still grab those jackets. Under clear skies, temperatures dive down through the 30s and even into the 20s for most of us by early tomorrow morning. So it's still going to be some chilly mornings out there, but the afternoon's looking a whole lot better. Tomorrow we're back in the upper 40s and many spots, I think, even into the low 50s. And again, even warmer days ahead from there. Mostly clear and cool for tonight. Overnight lows generally in the 20s, low 20s across the interior valleys, close to 30 in the lakeshore. Coming up in your full 401 forecast, we'll talk about the warmth on the way when we'll see above average temperatures and how long this pattern is here to stick around.
All right, Andrew, thanks very much. Don't forget, you can get the latest forecast right in the palm of your hand at any time just by downloading our Forewarn weather app. That has hourly forecasts you can customize right to your neighborhood in our live Forewarn Doppler radar. Don't forget, it is free for your phone and your tablet. Well, we are letting people know about some changes in traffic patterns over the next couple of months as state officials are working to move turbines from the south towns through our southern counties. News 4's Ali Ingersoll is hearing about this caravan and also sharing some details that you need to know about the routes.
This part right here is 202 feet long. That's one of the many turbine parts on the move to Chautauqua County.
Where it is.
As this door closes, the first round of turbine pieces are leaving Lackawanna, heading to Chautauqua County, where they'll be assembled.
With the size of the items that we have here, it's the only way to get them from point A to B. It's a very roundabout route.
This is a look at the route the caravan will be traveling, starting along Route 5 to 179, heading through Cattaraugus and Chautauqua counties using roads like the 219, 86, and 39. The blade and cell pieces, which are being transported during this project, measure more than 200 feet long and weigh thousands of pounds.
There's a lot of things that have to go into this. There's roadways that can only take a certain amount of weight, and there's roadways that can only have a certain amount of room for intersections, streetlights, and things like that. So all of this has to go into play to make sure that the traveling public, we don't destroy roads or obviously have any outcome where there's a collision or something like that that could do significant damage to roadways and or intersections.
Each day, 4 parts will be transported, meaning 4 different caravans will be leaving from here. And police will have to close intersections in intervals throughout the day. Police are telling people to expect delays and have patience during this turbine transportation project.
It is extremely dangerous to try and pass or take some sort of action to get around these units, given the fact of their length, size, and just the amount of roadway you would actually need to get around a 202-foot just tractor trailer, let alone all the certified escort units. And we will absolutely take action as the New York State Police if you are involved in any sort of activity and where you endanger the lives of others on the roadway.
Now, they'll be moving parts of these turbines every day for the next few weeks through mid-June. It can cause some traffic issues, so for information on which roads and routes will be impacted, just go to our website, WIVB.com, and click on the Founded on 4 section. Reporting from Lackawanna, Ali Ingersoll, News 4.
Allie, thank you. Coming up next on News 4 at 4, experiencing Olmsted Parks in a completely new way. As the Conservancy celebrates 150 years, they're also celebrating the launch of a new augmented reality service. Check this out. Coming up, we'll tell you why organizers say the digital element will add to your park experience. And hide behind the wheel. The new warnings this afternoon as the country is seeing a spike in drivers under the influence of marijuana. We'll tell you how the legalization debate is making an impact.